Hello, my friends. Happy Lunar New Year. I hope you guys all know that that's what Tet stands for. We celebrate Tet every year, but I hope you guys know that what we're celebrating is the Lunar New Year. A lot of our friends who are Vietnamese or Chinese or from other Asian countries get to celebrate this every single year, and they share their culture with us so that we get to celebrate it as well. Now, normally, this is a very fun time for Mr. Wheeler. I get to go out to our blacktop and I set up the big speakers, and we have our friends from Westminster High School who come over and do the lion dance for us, and we have our friends from the Buddhist temple who come over and they give us a message every year, and we get to have a great time and enjoy their talents and their culture that they're sharing with us. And my favorite part, a lot of our Vietnamese parents cook up delicious, authentic Vietnamese food, and I get to eat it. That is my favorite part, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But this year's a little different, sadly. So we will not be having lion dancers come to our school. Instead, the Westminster High School Vietnamese American Cultural Club has videoed their lion dance and made it available for us, so we still get to see it. I also had the opportunity to go over to the Buddhist temple and to talk with one of the monks, and he gave us a message. It was very cool. If any of you guys would like to go over there, you too can go over to the temple and take a tour around and look around. They were very inviting. They were very nice. I got to have a wonderful afternoon spent walking around the grounds and talking with this really awesome monk, and we're going to hear from him in just a minute. Now, before we get into the rest of the video, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what Tet means to me. And you may look at me and go, Mr. Wheeler, you don't look like the typical type of person who celebrates Tet. And that's true. As a general rule, my family, all of my ancestors are from part of England called Wales, which means that I am like 90-something% Welsh. There's not a lot of celebration of the Lunar New Year in Wales, at least not in the way that we celebrate Tet. But I was fortunate that I grew up here in America. And one of the best parts about America, and something that you guys have probably heard me say about 1,000,000 times by now, is the fact that we have a bunch of different people from a bunch of different cultures here. Specifically where we live, we have a lot of friends who are Vietnamese. We have a lot of friends who are from Mexico or Puerto Rico or from other Latin American countries. And we get to celebrate with them in their culture and their cultural celebrations. Tet is one of those cultural celebrations. And what's really awesome is, since I grew up around here, and since I was fortunate enough to have really awesome friends who shared their culture with me, I've been celebrating Tet since I was a teeny tiny kid. Every year for the last probably 35 years, I've had the opportunity to celebrate Lunar New Year, Tet, with my friends. And that's only possible because my friends, who may look a little different than me, may speak a different language than I do, or multiple languages. Usually they spoke English and Vietnamese, and Mr. Wheeler, well, I only speak English, but they would share their culture with me, and it became part of my own personal culture. You see, the idea of America, the best part of America, is the fact that we have people from all over the world that come here, and they share with each other their cultures. And if we're smart enough to listen and to talk and to understand and embrace these other cultures, then they can become part of our culture, our individual culture, right? The idea for me of going a year without celebrating Tet was just crazy. I love celebrating Tet. I love when we have our celebration here. I love watching the lion dancers. I love the food. I mean, you know, Mr. Wheeler loves his food, but I love the food. I love hearing the message from our friends over at the Buddhist temple. I love that stuff. And every year I get to do that because I'm fortunate to have friends who share their culture with me. I hope you enjoy our celebration of Tet. And while I wish that we were able to do this live and with you guys, I'm really grateful that we still get to celebrate it and that we still get to have our friends who are sharing their culture with us. We're going to start with our friend from the Buddhist temple. He's a monk and he's going to share a message for this coming year with us. And then we're going to have a little animation telling the story of the Zodiac Race, which is the legend of how we got the zodiac symbols, how each of the animals became the zodiac symbol. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy and happy Lunar New Year.
Namo Ayirafat, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Shakyamuni Buddha, Namo Tutgamoni Fut. Good morning or good afternoon, Willmore Elementary School. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Venerable Tik Ang Tree from the Dieu Temple right across from your beautiful elementary school. I would like to wish each and every one of you here a very happy Lunar New Year. In Vietnamese, it's Chúc Mừng Năm Mới. It's going to be the year of the ox, and the year of the ox is the second animal of all the 12 animals of the Lunar New Year. And in the Lunar New Year, the ox represents anyone who is hardworking, persistent, honest, and very determined. And these are the qualities that each and every one of you should have at Willmore, because coming from last year, I understand that many of you studied at home during the pandemic, and I understand that it could be very stressing and very hard at times for being so alone, not having your friends around. But in this new year, I hope that you can continue to learn the qualities and virtues and practice the qualities of the ox, as I said earlier, which is to be hardworking, to be determined, and to be honest, and so that you may strive forward and continue to do your best in school, to be an excellent person in society. And so this New Year, I hope each and every one of you have a lot of health, as great health as an ox may be, and may you be all successful, and may this year be a better year so that you can all come together as one in the classroom and soon study together and be peaceful and happy throughout this new year. Hopefully when this fall year comes within this year of the ox. And so again, I hope each and every one of you have a fantastic new year at Willmore Elementary, and I hope that each and every one of your families is safe and healthy, and continue to use masks, continue to stay away from crowds, and continue to try your best to be as healthy as you can and to be as clean as you can. And have a great Lunar New Year. I'm William.
The Zodiac Race. Long ago, the Jade Emperor, ruler of the heavens, decided to give humans a gift, a calendar that would allow them to measure time. To fill this calendar, he had a race on his birthday, he invited all creatures to participate. The calendar would be divided into 12 increments, so the first 12 animals to finish the race would be forever honored as the symbols of the zodiac. The race would be arduous through a dense forest and then across a wide, swift-moving river. The race began at dawn. Cat and Rat, who back then were close friends, teamed up and convinced the kind and patient Ox to let them ride on his back across the river. They assured Ox that if he helped them across the river, they would let him be the first to cross the finish line. Before they reached the shore, Rat pushed Cat off of Ox and into the water. As they neared the finish line, Rat jumped from Ox's head and ran across the finish line. This is how the cunning rat became the first animal of the Zodiac's lunar calendar. The Ox claimed the second spot. Though the Ox had every reason to be angry with the rat, he did not take it personally and still remained friends with the rat. Next came the tiger, king of all of the animals. While swift on land, the tiger had a hard time fighting the strong current while crossing the water. Behind Tiger was the lucky rabbit, who had made his way across the water by hopping along rocks. Unfortunately, right before he made it to shore, he lost his footing and was washed into the rushing river. He almost drowned, but was able to grab onto a log to stay afloat. As he was being dragged downstream, a gust of wind sent him back to shore. The fifth spot was claimed by Dragon. He had been a favorite to win the race, and the Jade Emperor inquired as to what had taken him so long. The fearless dragon explained that while he was on his way, he saw a fire raging out of control. To help the villagers, he made rain to put out the fire. Then he saw a little rabbit clinging to a log, so he sent a gust of wind to push him to the shore. This pleased the Jade Emperor. Next came Horse, but just as he was about to cross the finish line, Snake, who had been hiding in his mane, slithered out and then sprang to the ground, startling the horse. While the horse gained his composure, Snake slithered across the finish line, taking the sixth spot, with Horse following behind to take the seventh. Working together, Goat, Monkey, and Rooster came next. Rooster had spotted a raft abandoned next to the river, but knew that he wouldn't be able to make it across by himself, so he had teamed up with Goat and Monkey. When they reached the other side, they decided that Goat could go first, claiming the 8th spot, followed by Monkey claiming the 9th, and Rooster in 10th. The 11th spot was claimed by Dog, who, while fast, had gotten distracted having fun and playing in the water. Pig, after stopping to eat, nap, and then just float across the river, was the final animal to cross the finish line and secure his place on the Jade Emperor's calendar. With the race finished, the signs of the zodiac calendar were decided. But what about the cat, you may ask? Well, he finally made it across the river, but not in time to secure his place on the calendar. This is why, to this day, cats and mice are mortal enemies.